What is going on, Bucks fans? Evan Wanish here, back at you with yet another video. And this time we're going to be taking a look at another article that I did on BuccsNation.com that's available to go read right now on BuccsNation.com. So head over there and read this as well as my other stuff there as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. But obviously, the NFL schedule is released. And with that, I wanted to take a look at some of the most anticipated and most exciting games of this coming season, I think. And I wanted to wait to publish this article for one specific reason, which we'll get into in a little bit here. But I'm very excited to share my list with you. Like I said, my list isn't the right list, it's just my list. So if you guys have any anticipated games that you are really looking forward to this season, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know why and what you're looking forward to the most out of this season. So, without further ado, let's get into it right now. In week one, at Minnesota Vikings at 1 p.m. I think it has to be on there. Week one's always a special one. It's like opening day of baseball. Like the first game always, I think in any sport, always gives you a little bit of jitters, and it's always an anticipated matchup, regardless of what the team looks like or anything like that. Because you know what? Football's back. And if you're watching this video, you probably like football a good bit. So I know I do. So I think it's exciting. But also for the Bucks circumstances this year, is Baker Mayfield going to be the starter? If he is, how does a brand new quarterback fare in a brand new offensive scheme for the Buccaneers? How does rookies like Kalijah Cansey, Cody Mock, even late round guys like Trey Palmer, if they make the team, how do they fare? In their rookie debuts, I think there's a lot of storylines here, and I think it's very interesting to see how is Dave Canales' offense going to translate to the NFL. Will Baker Mayfield be starting? If Kyle Trask is starting, it's going to be his first career start. So there will be a lot of, I think, anticipation for that. Will Rashad White stay hot? Will he pick up where he left off last season with a solid rookie season? Will he pick it up right where he left off? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, get to see them both back in action now. Can Cade Otton take that other step? How is Tristan Wirfs going to be moving from the right to the left side? There is no shortage of storylines here, even though Tom Brady is not on the roster anymore. The Julio Joneses and Leonard Fournettes, they're not here anymore. There's still a lot of storylines for this Bucks team. And I think week one, you're going to finally see that come into fruition. So I think that's why you have to have that on here. Now, week two, I'm going to have versus the Chicago Bears. If you have week one, the first football game, I think you also have to have the home opener. I think you just got to have that home opener, especially when it's against a team like Chicago, who the Bucks have had many matchups in the past with. But also, this is more based on what the opponent is too, and that's you'll get into when we're anticipating these games. It also matters on opponent, like the team that the Bucks are playing, that matters. And I'm very curious to see how Justin Fields plays this year. Obviously, they traded the number one overall pick, traded back with Carolina, acquired DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a great wide receiver. We'll see how that fares for them. And you know what? Just seeing football back in Raymond James Stadium again is just going to be a welcome sight, and it'll be exciting. So I think the home opener has to be on there. Now, week three, and trust me, when I was doing the article, I didn't want to go in order. Like I didn't want to do weeks 1, 2, 3. As I say in my article, though, blame the schedule makers. Don't blame me. It's not my fault. It's just the way it all lines up. So week three is versus the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football at 7:15, which is part of a doubleheader. So that means the game will be over earlier. So that's always a positive sign. Get to go to bed a little bit earlier that night. But it's a Monday Night Football game. And the Buccaneers have two primetime games this season, a Monday Night Football game against Philly here, and then later on the season in Buffalo. And a little spoiler, that's not on my list. So under the lights in Raymond James Stadium against the defending NFC champions and Jalen Hurts, I think has to be on here. I think it has to be an anticipated game. Now, will the game go well? Who knows? Obviously, the last time the Buccaneers and Eagles faced off was in the 2021 wild card round where the Buccaneers really gave it to them. But this Eagles team and Jalen Hurts is much improved. It's a much different team. It'll be a big challenge, but I'm eager to see the Buccaneers against some of the NFL's best talent here. And we're also interested to see Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask on prime time. It'll be fun. I know some people don't like primetime games because the Buccaneers typically struggle in them. I get it, but it's Monday Night Football. It's the first one of the year. It's one of two that they're going to have on prime time. So I think I have to throw that in the most anticipated games. Now here's the one where I said I was waiting on something to see to add it to is week 6 versus the Detroit Lions at 1 p.m. And I think you know why. If you've seen the news, I think you've known why. This is the game where the Buccaneers are bringing back their creamsicle jerseys, or I should say throwback jerseys, because it hasn't been 100% confirmed that it's the creamsicle jersey, the home jersey. But regardless, they are bringing Bucco Bruce back for this game after a long awaited return. The last time they wore throwback uniforms was in 2012 against the New Orleans Saints. So it's going to be 11 years since they've worn those uniforms. I was just waiting to see which game it was because no matter what game it was going to be, it was going to be on the most anticipated. It has to be probably, honestly, if I was ranking these, it might be the most anticipated game of the entire season for me just to see these bad boys in action yet again. I love that, they really dress up Raymond James Stadium in the creamsicle, make it look like hey, you're back in the old in the old stadium, make it look like we're back in 1976. So I think they do a great job of it, and I'm very very excited to finally see Bucco Bruce and the creamsicles back in 2023. And also, I talk about the matchup a little bit, like. The Lions are a popular playoff pick. Dan Campbell is one of the most exciting head coaches in the NFL. I think it could be a pretty fun matchup as well. So, not to mention what the Buccaneers are going to be looking like wearing the uniforms while they're playing, but also the game itself, I think offers a lot of intrigue as well. And then the last one on my list is week 16. We're jumping from week 6 to week 16, and that's with the Jacksonville Jaguars coming into Tampa for a 4:05 p.m. game on Christmas Eve. Now, I also mentioned by this point, the Buccaneers and Jaguars could both be competing for playoff spots. I know there's some people that think the Buccaneers are going to be this horrible team, and hey, that's your opinion. I get it. Uh, but they still could. It's a weaker division. The NFC itself is weaker. There is a chance that the Buccaneers could be battling for a wild card spot or a division for at this point. So this game could be critical for both these teams. Obviously, for me, this is a personal pick. I really like this Jags team. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence's first time facing the Buccaneers in his career, and I'm very curious to see what this Jags team looks like. I'm always sort of eerie of the young team that takes the jump to the playoffs. Can they translate that into success the very next year? We'll have to wait and see if the Jaguars can do that. I think Doug Peterson's a great head coach, so very eager to see that matchup as well. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my list, or do you have some other games after you're looking at the schedule? Do you have some other games that you're looking at and you're like, you know what, like I'm really excited about that game? I know there's a couple on there that I thought about doing, but I was like, I'm going to leave it here. But let me know what you guys think about it. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and talk soon.